Welcome to the Wellness Insights podcast with the Jordan brothers. My name's Nathan.
And my name is Sean, and today we're going to be talking about SAD, also known as Seasonal Affective Disorder. It's something I think a lot of us have dealt with at one point in our lives, and I know I have. And we just kind of want to impart some of the experience we have with dealing with it. Now, it's important to note before we go any further that this is different from clinical depression. So if you think you might be dealing with clinical depression or symptoms of SAD become worse or go on longer than expected, definitely reach out to a physician or like a psychiatric professional for help. You know, we're a couple brothers just going through life and picking up some things on the way, sharing that with y'all. We're in no way professionals or doctors. This is our experience for educational and entertainment purposes only. So I guess the best thing to do would be starting out with defining what SAD is.
So, SAD is Seasonal Affective Disorder, and it's a type of depression that occurs during a certain seasons of the year, typically in the fall and winter months, and it's characterized by mood changes such as feeling sad, anxious, or depressed, loss of interest in activities, decreased energy levels, difficulty concentrating and making decisions, changes in sleep patterns, increased appetite and weight gain, and social withdrawal. All of which probably are caused by, the lack of sun and outdoor time that you're getting, especially in this season. Uh, you know, it it's real busy too at the same time, and it could cause sleep problems. So, I don't know if we know exactly what causes SAD for sure, but
It
go ahead.
it definitely seems like it's just a few different issues as far as people have concluded. Like you were saying, the sunlight, less sunlight definitely means uh, less vitamin D, and that's a really important hormone for emotional and sleep regulation. And you're usually busier, getting less sleep, dealing with things during the holidays. And, here at the beginning of the year is a lot of things you need to do to get projects rolling and things like that. Where it's cold, we tend to stay inside more and we socialize less. And we are social creatures. Even those of us that are introverted need a friend to talk to every once in a while. So, as far as anyone can tell, it seems like it's just a conglomeration of all these things with the, you know, circadian rhythm being knocked off as well.
Yeah.
Where time changed. At least that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and we kind
oh,
of
you,
already went over what causes SAD.
yeah,
so,
that kind of rolled right into that one.
so remedies for SAD, we have get light naturally outside, which, if you're able to get outside, that's well and good. But, if you can't, then there are other, options. So, like, there's places in the Arctic Circle that might not get sun for a long period of time, and they have like light boxes for
Mm-hmm.
UV light therapy for people that don't get a lot of sunlight. And that goes to show you how important it is, if we have to develop a technology to replace that, in those places.
Oh yeah, and you're getting, it's a combination from what I can tell of sun getting in your eyes and you absorbing it through the skin. So you're not just getting the vitamin D, but when you get light, ambient light in your eyes, it kind of helps, with kicking up the cortisol in the morning to help get you moving and dialing back your melatonin. So there's a lot of hormones that come into play with sunlight. On top of which, there is something I don't know what the science is behind it, but I tell you, me personally, something about feeling the sun just elevates the mood. Just feeling the
Yeah.
warmth from the sun.
I
Um,
know we have two cats, and they will just sit in the sun and close their eyes and just take it all in. And I'm like, wow, if they're, you know, if they love the sun that much, like they're probably doing it for some reason. There's probably some kind of need for it for them. Not just besides it feeling warm.
well, something I didn't think about till just now is when you sleep, your body temperature drops. So that might be part of getting your circadian rhythms in alignment is warming up in the morning too. Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, and when we did the sleep podcast, I remember us talking about keeping your bedroom kind of cooler. Maybe there is something to that temperature differential, and then the light itself entering in your eyes, and you know,
And
it's very interesting.
if you do want to try to get and this is kind of like my last word on, if you do want to try to get sunlight during the day, like if you don't have a light box or you don't have access to one or you can't afford it, something along those lines. Between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. is the best time of day in the wintertime to really get that light. It seems like I think like 10-15 minutes is enough.
Yeah, and when you come to the point where you might need some supplemental light, and you do need like a light box or something, which I could see people living closer north sometimes needing something like that, because around where we live, it's like 5 o'clock and the sun's already gone.
Yeah.
It's seeming like the days just get really short around this period of time. um, but a good amount that we have wrote down here is 10K lux of illumination. And I was just trying to get an idea of what that actually meant. It's a unit of illuminance that measures the amount of light that falls on a surface. So just lumens per square meter, which a lot of people that buy spotlights and flashlights know what lumens already are. So just to give you an idea.
And you can probably get something pretty decent off of Amazon and
Yeah.
put it at your breakfast table, while you're drinking your coffee, or if you work from home, having something like that near your desk would be a good option too.
And another thing that could help you with seasonal affective disorder is herbal support. Um, we do have items that are pretty good for that. It's the THC and CBD's role in SAD treatment plan. So, fortunately, cannabis offers another treatment option. Studies suggest that medical cannabis may alleviate SAD, as reported in Canalog, Way of Leaf, and elsewhere, based on its interaction with the body's endocannabinoid system. THC and CBD may also help with balancing serotonin levels. Uh, with our products, for January 22nd through February 22nd, you can use the code CBD drops 15. I'm sorry, CBD drops 15, and you can get 15% off on all of the HTC tinctures.
And tinctures are a really awesome, discreet way to accurately dose. Uh, I personally prefer having a THC one and a CBD one at hand so that I can, keep that. I like that CBD, that daily CBD dose to really help with inflammation and kind of smooth out everything, help balance the endocannabinoid system. Because, THC is good for a lot of things, but it's also good to balance it out with the CBD. Um, and there's a couple things like byproducts of this. One is it might make you feel more social. It might bring you to a point where you have more enjoyment doing the things that you did enjoy before you were experiencing the seasonal affective disorder. Like, if you're a musician and you smoke a little bit or you use a little bit of a tincture, it could really help get you in that creative mood and make you want to pick something up or move around.
Oh
And it
yeah.
can like really help just beside the serotonin, which is awesome. You also have help with inflammation, things like that. You might not be moving as much, uh, because of the depression, and also because we're inside.
Hmm.
I know I like to work on my in my yard during the summer, so wintertime comes around, and by the time the first snowfall comes around, I'm almost out of shape from working in the yard to go shovel the snow, where I'm just kind of chilling out inside.
Yeah, when
So
you're shoveling snow, there's usually not a lot of sunlight. you
yeah,
know,
exactly. Yeah.
every time I've shoveled snow this year, it's the sun has been obscured for sure.
Yeah.
All right, some other herbal supplements. What did you find on St. John's Wort? Like what
Well,
does it do?
it kind of acts like an SSRI a little bit, like a classic antidepressant. Um, it kind of helps with these neurotransmitters that seem to misfire when someone's experiencing depression in general.
Okay.
There are some studies showing it being able to help treat a lot of types of depression. Definitely something that you'd want to talk to your doctor about, because you don't know if this can interact with another supplement you're on or medication you're on, but it is a really powerful supplement. But it's one of those things you got to take consistently. It's not an immediate response, so it's
Yeah.
like an SSRI in that sense as well.
Yeah, you got to build it up in your system a little bit. Let yourself get used to it, probably.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they said the last time I talked to someone, I was at a an herbal store. They had like an apothecary section, and uh, he said it took 2 weeks to a month on average to really saturate your system before you started noticing.
Wow.
But it's pretty powerful. There's some good studies on it. Same with melatonin for sleep.
Yeah.
The thing with melatonin, I think, though, it seems to be an issue, is you really don't need much. I think an adult only needs like 1 to 3 milligrams.
Yeah, and the
Uh,
supplements are 5 to 10 milligrams.
yeah, I've seen 25 milligram ones too, and it's
The
just like it's
body
way
can't
too
even
much.
process it, probably.
No, it's overkill. So it's definitely good to for any kind of supplements to find a good source. Make sure you're getting something that's natural and dosed properly, because you don't want to too much of even like a natural thing, especially these natural plants can have adverse effects.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always say treat a supplement like a medication. That's how I do it anyway.
I've heard, like, just a little segue here, the omega-3 fatty acids. One of
Oh
the
yeah.
best ways to get those, that is from some wild caught salmon, or mostly the wild caught fish will have better concentrated values of it and higher quality than if you got just a supplement. But I guess, if that's all you could get at the moment, a supplement would always, help in some cases, So
Yeah, you're looking for the fattier fish too.
yeah.
Like so, and it seems like the cold environments produce the fattier fish, which is just it just goes to show you how awesome and in sync nature is with itself.
Yeah.
You're putting a species like us, and I'm sure bears and other animals that eat salmon, if they didn't have sunlight or the omega 3s, would experience depression.
Yeah.
And nature fell into such perfect order that it's right there where it's needed. It's pretty cool stuff.
And then vitamin D is something that you would get from the sun, and I'm not sure what all foods even have vitamin D. I remember there being a little bit of I mean, you got probably like the fish
Yeah,
would have
fish is going to
some.
have it.
So
Hmm.
you could just, get the double dose, the omegas and the vitamin D that
I
way.
think,
Eggs, that's another
yeah, I
one.
was gonna say eggs, and I think certain. I think it's mostly animal products, fatty animal products that have vitamin D. Because I'm pretty sure that milk has it in small quantities. I know they make milk that's fortified with it, but
And mushrooms, that's another one I just seen
oh
while I was
yeah,
looking it up. Certain mushrooms, like shiitake and button mushrooms, is what it says.
yeah, I remember that when I was doing the vegan thing.
But
That's
yeah, I
what I
mean,
replaced them with.
all these ways, just finding what works for you and your diet, and like, if you have to supplement it with a supplement, just do your homework on the better of the choices, see what you can get.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah.
always I'm kind of thinking we should put diet up here because having a balanced diet is always preferable to a supplement. But supplements are definitely have their place, especially if you're. I mean, a lot of those really healthy foods are kind of expensive, so might not be something you can incorporate in your diet every week. You know.
Yeah. We talked about meditation a little bit on the last podcast about, you
It's
know,
good for just about anything.
yeah,
There's a lot of things that keeping your mind balanced and your body balanced kind of helps alleviate. And I think for me personally, one of the things that meditation helps me the most with when it comes to seasonal affective disorder and depression in general, for me, is it kind of helps you check in with yourself and to see what, if anything, there's something that you can do or something you're missing or something you can give more care to.
yeah. I
Uh,
know, like the times I've meditated, the things that are probably the harder to push down and out of your mind at the time are probably things that you need to examine a little bit more.
yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with meditation turning into reflection and pondering as opposed to just solely focusing on staying still.
Yeah,
And there's a place for that too. Like you let your mind wander and whatever keeps popping up, maybe you need to take some time and give it attention, like you said.
yeah. And your subconscious in your sleep will help you process some things like that too. you know, if you're
Oh
if
yeah.
you're struggling in school with the way everybody thinks, then you have a dream where you're naked in front of the class. That's how your brain likes to process things like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's there's something we've done sleep in several of these, and there was one thing that I was just thinking about we should have been putting it in. And that's journaling, dream journaling.
yeah,
Even if you're not the type of person to really find metaphysical meaning in your sleep, your dreams, it could be a really good way of helping you process because that's what dreams are on a biological level is the mind processing things that happen throughout the day.
yeah,
I personally not to push any of my own views as far as that goes. I personally think that there can be metaphysical or spiritual meanings in dreams as well, but uh, just being able to look back and decipher that
yeah.
is helpful.
It's also good to do it right when you wake up if you can, when the dream's the freshest. That's
Oh
the
yeah,
way I've always done it. And boy, when you look back on them, some of them are kind of wild. Getting
yeah.
them in a lucid state.
And you can get some good ideas. You might even get inspiration to, pull yourself, out of where you are. Like, you might realize through a dream, if you look back on it, you're like, well, this kind of seems like I'm worried about the fact I haven't called a parent in a while, or I haven't, hung out with a friend for a while. And then you go and you do that. That might have been one of the things that was bothering you.
Yeah. Uh, so we did kind of cover sleep a little bit, and maintaining a healthy circadian rhythm definitely helps with your mood and helps you process those things. Like we said, you do
Yeah.
need time to you know defrag, for a lack of better word,
Yeah.
defrag the events that you just experienced. And I mean, it's interesting if you ever go down the rabbit hole of like the sleep, uh sleep research, and like how what happens to the brain when you're asleep, and all the different states that you go through, and brain activity during those states. It's very interesting stuff.
Then seeing what happens when you go without it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why it's here. Depression and anxiety. Yeah, if you go really long time without sleep, you can get paranoid
Hmm.
from not having from you're
You
just not
can have
processing those thoughts. And
there's two different kinds of hallucinations that could develop if without sleep as well. Like you'll see things right when you're waking up, and then in some cases people will see them as they're awake if they've gone without too much sleep. So
hmm
yeah, I'm not sure what that means, whether it's like your brain calling out for help, like let me sleep, or
yeah.
what. But exercise, you know a lot about exercise, Sean.
I do enjoy exercise and reading about it.
Like, I like reading about it more than doing it, but I am getting ready to take a yoga class. I haven't taken one yet, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, boy.
I'm
You
ready
got your
for it.
mat
No, they said that because I'm taking beginner yoga, they're going to have all the materials there, all the
accoutrement.
yeah, all the yoga equipments. So I don't
Yoga's a
know if
good
they're
one
ready for
because
me to come through that door though. I'm going to be bigger than everybody in there probably.
yoga is a good one though. Because I mean, yoga it's not just flexibility. A lot of people think it's flexibility only, but you build strength from yoga, and you learn how to really focus in on the breathing. It's very mindful. It,
Yeah.
brings your attention to the present. And depression is usually, a worry about the future, or shame or guilt, or worry about the past.
I think
So,
too that yoga also helps the movement of certain body systems that otherwise wouldn't be moving as much if you're kind of sedentary. Like if you're still on the quarantine work schedule where you're working from home, you know, yoga will move your body in ways to, you know, get those systems flushing themselves, and you know,
oh yeah,
if
lymph
you can't do
system. And,
the regular exercising.
oh yeah, there's been some really good results
And strength
with
training will
people.
just release dopamine. So
Oh yeah, and then the more muscle mass you have, generally the healthier you are, and that kind of can translate into feelings of well-being. And when I say more muscle mass, I don't mean like Mr. Olympia style muscle mass. Like the average person doesn't really move much. So
yeah.
I've heard some really interesting measurements on people, like the lats and stuff, on people who don't move very much. That's where a lot of lower back pain and stuff comes from. Is sitting a lot, those muscles atrophy, and then there's nothing supporting the bones
Yeah.
very well. So that's definitely good for that too, and letting out some of that aggression. If you're feeling really angry or irritable,
Yeah.
strength training or punching a bag. Punching bag's a good cardio workout and really good for releasing pent up stress or anything like that.
So we did cover diet a little bit earlier, but is there anything that I mean, you obviously want a balanced diet with the variety that'll get you all the nutrients and vitamins you need. Is there anything like any takeaways that you had from researching? Something that may have surprised you or you didn't know.
Well, I'll tell you, The one that always surprised me seeing this list, I guess it's like a reoccurring surprise, is when I see chocolate.
Yeah. I,
Chocolate is like, if you get the right kind,
yeah.
it's really good for your mind, and it's a really good morale boost. Besides the fact that it can elevate serotonin, it's just an overall really good morale boost. You're feeling down, eating some chocolate can help. Just don't overindulge. But
Yeah.
I'd say beside the fact that it's a good idea to focus more on foods with vitamin D uh, during the fall and winter seasons when SAD is more prevalent. It also wouldn't be a bad idea to focus on those with like vitamin C and zinc and magnesium that help support the immune system, because we're also talking about flu season and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my take on it. Chocolate and immune support.
Well, you also have kind of the obvious, like people know, like you want to eat your vegetables and you know certain fruits and nuts. They have a lot of omega 3 in certain varieties as well, and they're good. Like almonds are pretty good for your heart.
Oh
You
yeah,
know.
dark chocolate, dude. I get these dark chocolate almonds.
Yeah.
Let
You
me tell
can't
you,
get
boy.
off the chocolate, man.
Yeah, but you get the chocolate. You put the chocolate on stuff too.
Just to recap, we don't advocate eating a lot of chocolate. Just
No,
the
yeah, that's
right,
why I
the
said
right
don't
kind. Yeah, because
don't
we keep.
overindulge. Eat chocolate responsibly.
Yeah, it's also like a little caffeinated, isn't it? Like you
A little
shouldn't eat a
bit,
lot of it before bedtime.
yeah. I shouldn't.
Yeah, so stop it, man. Your indoor environment, plants.
This is a big one
Yeah, I know
because that's
plants.
where you are.
What was the plant? The snake tree plant that puts out so much oxygen that somebody was trying to breathe off of just the plant.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, very interesting video creating an environment that the plant recycled the CO2 in the room so they could survive off of the oxygen of the plant. But you know, just having nature inside,
hmm it can really boost your mood.
pretty
It kind
flowers.
of imparts. Yeah, I was gonna say it imparts like a really nice visual aesthetic. So you got that real uplifting sort of vibe around plants. I don't know. I do.
Yeah.
When I'm around a plant, it's almost like a pet. Almost like you don't. There might be people out there that call themselves like plant parents. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not judging. If you love your plants like some people love pets, that's cool. But it's if you're taking care of a plant, it's something to focus on other than what you're going through. You know,
Hmm.
uh, it's just therapeutic, like Zen gardens too, man.
Yeah. That's
And
like the sand.
you can put stuff in a Zen garden, can't you? Sure, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I never seen one. I just assumed it had plants in it.
but you could have a garden that has Zen in it, like you just
Yeah, you grow just the Zen.
yeah.
But like bonsai trees are really cool
Yeah.
too. Like little things you gotta trim up, and
They bonsai cannabis now.
I know I want to do that so bad. You can actually buy a little guide online for it.
That's cool. They look real nice. I like them. Cleaning and organizing your space. Obviously, like I went through a period of time where I had a lot of clutter, and I mean, all it can do is just cause you a little stress when you try to find some stuff. Being organized is important. You know.
Yeah, the visual clutter, that chaos,
Hmm.
can add to anxiety too, and make you nervous without even realizing it. Uh, and then just the act of getting up and moving around cleaning. Besides the fact you have the end result of a clean room, you feel good because you got up and moved around.
Oh yeah. And there are people that they have manageable, chaotic disorganization sometimes, but whatever you thrive in, I guess, is not too bad. But
Yeah, well, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like if that's your thing, like if that's organized to you, then maybe you need to mess things up a little bit to feel better.
yeah, like they said, cluttered desk means a cluttered mind. Then what does a empty desk mean?
Yeah.
So don't get too organized, but stay clean.
Yeah. Like cleanliness is good, getting rid of the dust and whatnot.
And another thing you could do is get some hobbies, new ones, or just pick up old loved hobbies. And I tell you what, I'm one of them people that I will see something and I'm like, I could do that. And then I get all the stuff for it and I do it for a little bit and then, you know, kind of just do something else that I'm already good at.
Yeah.
But that's always if you have that stuff, you can always reopen it up. Like get those paints and canvas back out, or the potter wheel. Get it dusted off and try it out. You might surprise yourself because emotion bores creativity.
Hmm. And
Yeah,
sometimes even just, I don't know, like sometimes even if it's something that, it's a brand new skill for you.
yeah.
Like you're making you decide to get some pottery gear.
Oh
Even
yeah.
if it doesn't look good, man. It's you're doing something,
Excuse me.
working with it. You smash the clay. It feels
Yeah.
good to do that.
Yeah. Our next topic is the outdoors here. At my last vacation, I spent most of my time outdoors instead of somewhere that's like really hectic, and a lot of attractions. I just spent time in the woods, and it was just probably one of my most favorite vacations. I felt so great afterwards. I just renewed.
Yeah, that was when I was looking this up, the ecotherapy thing
Yeah.
came up and I hadn't heard the term, but it really makes sense, being out in nature. For some people it's being near the ocean or
Hmm.
lakes or rivers, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and you can, even if you're somewhere cold, you can still do things outside. Like bonfires are amazing.
Oh yeah.
You're if you're you know y- obviously you got to be responsible about it and check out. Sometimes they have times of year you're not allowed to burn or anything like that, but or even have like a little fire pit and just hanging out around it to keep warm and
Oh
still
yeah.
be outside. And that could really, it could be a good social event, get people together.
Yep. I've been around a many of bonfires and fire pits.
I have as
Good.
well.
Good
It's a good
quality
time.
time. Yep. But yeah, basically ecotherapy is just like the kids are saying now, go outside and touch grass. That's
Yeah,
yeah.
it's good. It's uh it's definitely this part of the year where everything's darker and we're all inside kind of getting back into the grind of work and day to day after the excitement of the holidays. It can be a little difficult.
Hmm.
And these are just just a few of the things that we found that could help us, and we hope they help you out too. And if you have any suggestions, like anything you want to add to what we said, definitely leave that in the comments.
Yep,
I know
for sure.
we're just two dudes. We miss stuff.
Yeah, just like to keep it chill, as it were.
Yeah, that's how we do.
Well, do you have anything to add, or any kind of takeaway you want to hammer home?
No, I think for me, the one of the biggest things to take away from something like this is just know that sad is different from clinical depression, but it doesn't make it any less real or make what you're going through, any less difficult. So, like I said earlier, if you think you might have something like clinical depression, and it's not just, they used to call it the winter blues.
Yeah.
It's something more severe. Definitely reach out. It's always important to seek help when you're struggling. That's what that's what people are there for. These professionals are there
Hmm.
for, like therapists and doctors that can help you figure that out.
I actually enjoy the fact that it's destigmatized almost totally now,
Yeah.
to
Oh
get
yeah.
therapy. People are just more open about it, and there's no shame in it. You know.
No, we all need help sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And get you some chocolate covered almonds
Yeah. And some cannabis oil.
and some cannabis oil.
Yeah. We should see if we can make some of them at home.
Oh, like some
Some
chocolate covered
THC.
cannabis almonds.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Have fun while making yourself not so sad.
I might eat them all. It might be a bad time.
Well, we appreciate y'all uh, clicking on our video and uh, spending some time with us.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, if you have anything you want to add or any questions or suggestions for upcoming episodes, do feel free to hop in to the comments. We like to see everybody in there talking, and they say that clicking the like button's good. So if you feel the need,
Yeah. If
give
we
that
earned
a
your like,
click.
then go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next time.
See y'all later.